Welcome to or welcome back to Rainforest Oracle. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you are new to the channel, hello, my name is Amanda, illustrator by day and intuitive tarot reader by night. If you enjoy these videos, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to know when I upload new videos. Here is where I offer weekly tarot readings that provide insight, clarity, and inspiration on your own unique journey in life. But do keep in mind that tarot is not predictive due to your own free will and personal circumstances. If you are returning or a current subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It helps me get these messages to other people and allows me to continue to offer these readings. So for the monthly reads, I'm going to be doing kind of a longer format, a little more extensive. For the weekly reads, I'm going to be doing something a little bit shorter just to experiment with short form and long form content. You let me know in the comments which one you prefer and any questions that you'd like me to answer, any videos that you'd like me to do would be awesome to hear from you, and I'll definitely take those into consideration. So in this week's reading, I thought we'd do a mystery message for you. And you will pick your tarot deck, which you want me to pull from, and then in your reading, I will pull your oracle card and the tarot from whichever deck you choose or pile you choose, and then we'll draw some bonus oracle cards at the end. So for pile number 1, we have the Steampunk Tarot paired with the Tiger's Eye Stone. For pile 2, we have the Everyday Witch Tarot paired with the Peacock Ore. And pile 3, we have the Unfolding Path Tarot with the Atlantasite, I believe this one is called. It's a very pretty stone. So if you need more time to choose your pile, please pause the video now. Then when you're ready, head down into the description box below to click on the timestamp for your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose the Steampunk Tarot with the Tiger's Eye Stone. We'll keep that at the top here. And these are the oracle cards that I have chosen for the opening energy and the ending energy. So we'll just put this one aside here. We'll put the tarot aside for a minute as we get into your mystery message from the Psychic Tarot. Okay, so we had one kind of flip out. We're going to grab that one. Get a sense for your opening energy for this read. What's it all about? Rest and rejuvenation associated with the number 4. Speaking to foundations, coming back to our center, getting rooted, getting grounded, finding clarity in that space so that we can move forward. So there might be a call here to do that. Maybe you're not doing that as much as you should, or you might be called to do that this week, this month. You might be feeling overwhelmed and stressed for some reason or another, so that might be why this card is coming out. You might be feeling burnt out or stressed to some degree. All right, so let's pull a tarot card for your energy. This will be a single card just to get a sense for where you're at energetically. 7 of Wands in reverse. So you've got your defenses down and you're giving up, I don't want to say defeat, but maybe it's a defeat in a good way. It came out reverse. And that might be why the rest and rejuvenation is coming in here, is because you've gone through some kind of struggle, some kind of, I don't want to say battle because battle is quite aggressive, but there's something that you've defended. And there's something that you have come to the defense of, whether that is a person, a circumstance, a business, maybe even a way of thinking. And when we're speaking to foundations as well, you'll notice that there is a mountain in the background. So she's also almost defending that foundation of hers. So foundation could be a very significant piece to your read here. You might be defending what it is that makes you feel safe, what it is that makes you feel secure. And there might be people around you who are challenging you, so you're having to come to the defense of that, or justify or explain yourself. And you've almost might be doing that to a degree where you've become tired of doing it. You don't want to do that anymore, or you feel you don't have to or shouldn't have to. So there's a sense of defeat, but also a sense of I'm just not doing it anymore because I feel I don't have to. So instead of focusing my energy externally to defend my decisions, defend my business, defend my path in life, I want to go in this opposite direction of just coming into myself, being with myself, reserving and preserving my energy for the things that I can change, or bringing your energy to a place that is a little more healthy for you, or focused in a way that is going to help you see progress, give you some balance, help bring that foundation back in, feeling rooted, rather than putting your energy towards people and circumstances that possibly drain your energy because of you having to defend yourself or feeling challenged. You're going to pull that energy back into yourself and pour it into something that gets you greater benefits. But there is a lot of strength here. There's a lot of determination and will. This could also be an internal battle as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be with people, but again, because it's in reverse, there's that internal aspect of us coming inward. So is there something internally that you feel challenged by, whether it's conflicting thoughts, feelings, passions, desires, and you almost justifying your decisions to yourself? So let's get some cards for your mystery message. Okay, so we have your 3 cards, and because this is short form, we're only going to do 3 instead of 5. We're going to do clarifiers and then a bonus. We're also going to take a peek at the bottom of the deck just to see what's going on that you may not see or be aware of. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups. So there's a new opportunity here. There is an opportunity to do something different, an opportunity to find more fulfillment, to connect in with your heart space possibly. There could also be an overwhelm of emotions, an overflow of emotions. So that might require you to pull back and find that rest and rejuvenation in order to process what you're feeling. But this is a card of love, a card of opportunities, planting new seeds, having your own cup so full that you can give to others. So that could also be something here where you're headed is you're feeling drained, so you can't give to yourself because you've given so much to others. You've given so much of your energy, your time, your resources, your feelings, your emotions to other people, to other things. And now there's a bit of a pullback happening. And I think as a result, you're going to come into some kind of fulfillment. There's a start of something new here. Success, abundance, an overflow of emotion. So much so that you want to give that emotion, that feeling to others. And with this water lilies bloom, or they grow from the sludges of the bed, the lake bed, the pond bed, and it grows from the sludges into this beautiful bloom that only lasts a specific amount of time. It opens during the day, it closes during the night, it has a rhythm. And so how might that apply to your life as well? What kind of sludge are you growing from? How can you bloom through this experience? And also, too, knowing when to open yourself up to emotions, other people, experiences, and when to close and rest and rejuvenate. So there's almost a feeling of balance and rhythm here. The Devil. See, you are releasing some toxic habits, behaviors, ways of thinking here. And it doesn't have to be extreme, but you are realizing that you too have worth in this equation. You too deserve rest. You too deserve love and abundance and fulfillment, just as much as you might be offering other people or helping them along their way. And I feel you're coming into this realization of the fact that you are deserving of this, and you no longer have to be wrapped up in this toxicity or this unhealthy thing that is keeping your guard up and having you expend your energy in ways that doesn't feel good for you. And I feel this is a significant shift because it is a major arcana. So think about something that you've done for a really long time. It might even be kind of something that you've done on autopilot and haven't even realized, but you're learning through maybe something's happening over and over and over again, and you just can't shake the same experience. Even though the circumstances and the people and how it comes together has changed, the experience is very similar. So there's a cycle happening, and you can't figure out why it keeps happening that way. So you're coming into this realization where you want to break that pattern. You want to break that way of thinking, break that behavior, so that you can experience something different and more fulfilling. Six of Pentacles. Speaking to that, we've got an equal exchange of energy here. So I feel you're really assessing things. And while you might want to help others and help other people thrive and feel fulfilled, you're realizing that you deserve that too. So again, this equal exchange of energy where you're no longer putting your time into people, circumstances, situations where all it's going to do is drain your energy and leave you feeling dull and lifeless, and maybe not feeling good just in general. You want to not only offer your services and offer your help to people, but you also want to feel fulfilled in that process, not necessarily asking for something in return, but it has to be fulfilling for you. It has to offer you some kind of emotional benefit as well. So it has to make you feel good. It has to make you feel energized. It has to offer you some kind of teaching moment or experience. Even if we're not going in it to make money or make friends or, go in it for some kind of benefit, there is always a benefit to offering something to somebody, whether that is our own emotional fulfillment and satisfaction, or there's something that we're learning, we're growing personally and spiritually. So I feel like there's something here that you're putting your energy and your emotion into, and it's just not giving you that satisfaction, that fulfillment. And you're really kind of cutting ties with that, or at least coming to the realization that these ties have to be cut because it's completely draining me. I'm tired of fighting or defending myself or feeling challenged and having my energy run low. Maybe you're getting sick in the process. So it is not positively contributing to your growth, your development, your fulfillment. And we have the King of Cups. He is he, she, they. Let's get rid of genders here. This is an energy of not allowing emotions to take over, to feeling balanced emotionally, to feeling fulfilled, and knowing what those things are so that you can quickly drop what it is that is not fulfilling, that you're not passionate about, that is draining your energy, and coming into a place where you feel balanced, harmonious, enough so that you can give that energy away to others, just like the Six of Pentacles, because you have found ways to fill up your cup, to regenerate and rejuvenate your energy. You can then not only do that for yourself, but you've got so much that you are now giving to others as well. You're making them feel fulfilled. So you're stepping away from this toxic, draining energy, and you're slowly coming into balance to the point where you have so much energy, so much emotion, maybe even motivation and desire to help others in that way. But you also know, you've learned through this process how to balance that energy, how to release the stuff that is no longer serving you energetically, physically, emotionally, and you're coming into more of the things that do fulfill you energetically, emotionally, physically. And that rest and rejuvenation might be that key here. You might need to go inside of yourself, inside your mind, inside your heart to figure out how you might foster that. So I'm going to leave this guy here. And I'm going to pull some clarifiers now for these 3 cards. Ooh, interesting. 2 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, this is amazing. You're coming into some self-love here and taking care of yourself. You're really, and this is self-care, this rest and rejuvenation, knowing when to step away and giving yourself time and space to say, I need some time to myself. I need a vacation. I need a day, an hour, whatever it is, just to follow your joys, to rest and spend time with yourself, with your family, with your friends and loved ones, just to have fun, to refill your cup again, rather than feeling drained and going and doing for others. Stepping away to say, hey, that's a toxic behavior to work too much, to isolate myself and not have fun with my friends and family. I almost get lawyer with this 7 of Wands, somebody who is focused on defending. And so with that comes a lot of working hours. It comes with a lot of helping others. And you might realize that working, I don't know how many hours you work, 80 hours a week, and going to court and doing for others, it might not be fulfilling, satisfactory. So maybe you try to cut back hours. Maybe you decide a career shift. I don't know what the answers are for you here. You will have to decide that for yourself. But you're really coming into a sense of self-love, of knowing what works for you, of knowing what lights you up, of knowing how you can come back into that balance again of, I matter in this equation too. And if I don't take care of myself, then I can't be here for other people, at least in the way that I want. So the 2 of Cups can speak to love relationships, but because it's reversed, I really feel like this is a personal love, a self-love, a self-worth, self-esteem, and coming into balance, finding that balance. We have the yin and the yang symbol here, speaking to harmonious connections, alchemy, having that perfect balance of things come together to create a whole. So I really feel that this is kind of that experiment that's happening. You're experimenting with what happens if I pull back or release that behavior, release that way of doing things, that routine. And how can I come back to myself? How can I find that balance again? 6 of Pentacles. We've got the 7 of Swords. So in this process of finding that balance, you have a bit of a fear here of deception, like you're deceiving somebody, you're walking away, you're being selfish in some way. But like I said before, if you don't show up as whole and fulfilled, you can't bring that energy to others, and your energy will only continue to be drained. So I feel this is a decision that you come to hesitantly, but it's something that it almost feels like you have to do it because you have no other choice. What you've been doing is not sustainable. So you're kind of just taking what you need and making that decision. And I don't want to say walking away because it's not a walking away type of situation, although it could be, I don't know. But you're making changes. You're no longer locking yourself or chaining yourself to a specific place, person, situation that has you feeling stuck or in this drained energy and constantly giving without much gratification or satisfaction. So yes, it might feel deceptive because it's something that maybe you desired at one point and you've put all of your heart and soul into, but you're getting to a point where it's no longer sustainable. So you have no other choice but to walk away, or at least find a new way of doing something. But it's kind of this idea of, well, I either lie to myself and ignore all of what I'm feeling and just continue doing what I'm doing, or I have to come to that truth and decide this is what I actually need and this is how I'm going to achieve that. Yes, you're going to feel like you're letting people down, you're disappointing people, but it is the best for everyone in the end. King of Cups. Haha, look at that. Queen of Cups. Look at that. So the King of Cups doesn't let the chaos around him inform his decisions or get the best of him. The Queen of Cups has that ability to not only nurture herself first, so like when you're on an airplane, you put your own mask on first before you can help others. It's that same energy here where she's got a lot to give, but she also has to be careful what she picks up along the way and what is her emotions, what are other people's emotions, stresses, responsibilities, circumstances, and understands how to dump out what she doesn't need and fill her cup first with what she wants and what she needs in order to show up to be her best self. And in turn, she's able to nurture people around her because she knows that she doesn't have to take on everything, and also be really strong in expressing her emotions as well, nurturing herself, and being willing to offer space to herself for that. So you've got a really beautiful kind of ending to this, where it's coming to full fulfillment. And it is this process of releasing what is not working, what is not fulfilling, what is draining to a negative degree, really offering yourself the love that you need, the space and the time to have some fun, to process emotions that you haven't, to let go of emotions that are not yours, to properly rest and rejuvenate yourself. Because there's a new opportunity to do that here. And there is going to be so much more satisfaction in whatever and however you work through this and where you end up in the end. You're going to find this balance. You're going to be happier. But it's all about assessing that toxicity and being willing to make the difficult decisions to disappoint some people, to even explore what balance and harmony looks like to you and how you can offer yourself a little bit of love, and even why you might not have been doing that up to this point. Why are you ignoring that care, that nurturing energy, that love to yourself? That's very important. And it might even be a difficult thing to explore. But it's all about awareness in the end and discovering what is it that I need and why am I not getting it? How can I get more of what I need? Especially if it comes to mental health, physical health. You know, if we're struggling in some way, that's our body and our mind telling us that we need something that we're not getting. So that might be this discovery here. And again, that rest and rejuvenation, that hermit energy, that Four of Swords, this is the Four of Swords in traditional tarot, is telling us to take pause, because that pause might be exactly what you need to discover what it is you need. Okay. So we're going to get an oracle card to end your reading. And I see one there. Let's see what it's all about here. Mystic Healer. So there's, I feel like You have to do a bit of healing here. And healing might also be that key. And it also goes kind of hand in hand with the rest and rejuvenation. It is about physical healing, mental healing, spiritual healing. And that will hopefully allow you to step into this fulfillment and feeling of abundance in your life, this feeling of satisfaction, emotional satisfaction. But the only way to do that is to not step onto the next merry-go-round, but to step off the merry-go-round for a minute and to figure out, well, what's happening here? Why is it happening? And how can I prevent it from happening? What will feel more fulfilling moving forward? Taking that pause. And especially if you've been burnt out for some time or have been working wild amounts of hours, that healing process needs to happen. Your mind is probably burned out. Your spirit is probably drained. Your physical body is probably tired. So again, taking that pause to heal all of these parts of yourself. And I don't mean taking a 7-month sabbatical. I'm speaking to wherever you can get those moments. Having a good night's sleep, stretching, and maybe even doing some kind of physical activity to nurture your body, eating well, stepping into nature, and having a quiet 10 minutes. It's wherever you can find that time and space to really care for your body, mind, and soul here is what this is all about. So pile 1, I hope this resonated with you in some way. If it did, you're welcome to comment below to let me know, or like this video and subscribe if you haven't already to help this channel and community grow. I really appreciate you, and we will see you in your next reading. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Everyday Witch Tarot with the Peacock ore. Put down just there. So for your oracle cards, I have chosen the Everyday Witch Oracle and the Sacred Traveler Oracle for your ending message. So I'm just going to put that here for now, and we'll grab an oracle card for the opening energy for your reading. All right, so we got Connect with Gaia, and Gaia is Earth. So there's a show on Netflix, is it Netflix, Amazon, Crave? I can't remember. It's called Earthing, I believe. And it's about physically grounding yourself in the earth with bare feet, standing on the earth, putting your roots down, cleansing your physical body with the, I don't know what it is, the scientific term, the ions that come up through the ground, and kind of get your body back into flow. There is science behind it, so definitely check that out and do some research yourself on earthing, but that might be something to look into. But grounding is a huge message here on something that you might need to practice or get into more of. There's other ways of grounding too. Meditation, journaling, yoga, sitting in nature, anything that connects you to the earth. Gardening is even a form of grounding as well, because you are connecting in with the earth. And also, this might speak to distractions as well. So if you are heavily distracted with something and haven't given yourself time to tune in to what's going on around you, to people, to places, it's just about staying in touch with the things that are important spiritually and practically, mentally, and those things too that offer support for your efforts in whatever you're doing. And again, speaking to that physical, emotional, and spiritual connection to those things, family, support groups, friends, our joys. What are those things that make us feel grounded and rooted to who we are? Okay, so we're going to get a tarot card for your opening energy to see where you're at in all this. And this is something new that I'm doing. I don't know if I'll do it for the monthly. We'll see. Okay, we got 3 here. 1 too many. I just want 1 card. There we go. Thank you. High Priestess. It came in kind of sideways, so I might give you a couple of different, what is it that I'm trying to say? A couple of different interpretations, both the reversal and the upright. There we go. So, because my words were kind of stuck, I almost wonder, and because this was sideways, I almost wonder if you're feeling a little stuck. If you're feeling a little like you're in between the practical world and the spiritual world, and maybe almost feeling a little lost. The High Priestess is all about kind of that quiet connection between our intuition and that manifestation of our physical world. Taking time out to figure that out. There's almost a feeling of assessment here too, of assessing what that is and maybe connecting back in with your spiritual self, your intuition, because that might not be happening right now. So you're kind of starting to explore these things about yourself that have gone missing for so long. Oftentimes as adults, we get so wrapped up in our day-to-day tasks, our routines, our children, our animals, our jobs, that we forget to make space for observation, for taking pause to care for ourselves, for checking in with that intuition and looking at how we are honoring that intuition. Is that coming to form in our physical world? Is there a hidden desire there or a hidden feeling that needs to come to the surface and to come to reality? So I feel you might be in this assessment period, or at least this introspective observation of looking into that, of getting curious about it, of even taking note of it as to, hey, I remember doing this as a kid and I don't do that anymore, but I could easily implement that or integrate that in my life. And so there's this curiosity happening here and looking into how you can go about doing that, integrating those things that you love or you used to love. But essentially it is about connection to our higher self, our inner self. And which is maybe why this connection with Gaia came out, is because there needs to be some kind of grounding here, some connection to our spirit again, connection to what makes us feel rooted and grounded, because we're so wrapped up in day-to-day life that we've stopped connecting in with ourselves. We've stopped connecting in with what makes us feel joyful and grounded and spiritual. All right, so we're going to get cards now for your reading. We're going to grab 3 because this is going to be a shorter read. And that was too many. So let's get some cards. Okay, we have your 3 cards here. Bottom of the deck, which is also something new I'm doing, is King of Swords. So we've got some communicative energy here. We've got a plan. We've got a strategy. We've got a clear way forward. We even have kind of a, maybe we even have, we've even communicated this to people in our lives. So there's not only a clarity here, but there is a strategy, a plan, and it's really rooted in logic, which is almost the opposite of what's going on here. But, you know, when we're on the merry-go-round of life, sometimes we need to actually have a plan at first to create a habit of connecting in with our intuition, of having a practice of some kind, because sometimes we just go from one lily pad to the next. I don't know why I'm using that metaphor, but we're jumping from one thing to the next, and we don't actually stop to think about, okay, it's lunch hour. Let's take a half an hour break, go for a walk, sit in nature, whatever it may be. Maybe it's reading a book or going to have a coffee with a friend on a Saturday. There needs to be a strategy and plan in order for these things to become a daily practice, especially if it's not part of our day-to-day life right now. The moon. So there's some confusion here. There possibly is even some chaos as we work through this, because we're realizing that maybe certain things aren't in alignment with our intuition or our higher self or the goals we once set. It's not what we expected, or it's not where we want to go. So you might be really taking this time to reflect on that. And it might be quite a dark time. It might be quite a confusing time. It might be a little bit disorienting. You might feel disconnected from your current life, especially if this is a dark night of the soul situation. I would recommend you Google that and watch some YouTube videos on that, because it's something that I've experienced, and it is a very hopeless space to be, where you've started to question a lot of things and then start reconnecting with your true self and realize some of this stuff doesn't align anymore. And what am I doing? And so you're almost coming to a close of one part of yourself and opening up to an old self that you've missed and need and want, or you're creating a whole new self. And with that new self comes new things that you are starting to realize that you want to have in your life, and they might be completely different than what's in your current life. That is a very disorienting, confusing space to be. And there's not a lot of people experiencing this dark night of the soul on a daily basis. So it's not kind of common that people talk about where these deep feelings are expressed and this confusion and lack of self-worth and purpose come to the forefront. It's really difficult to talk about that with people in your life that have never experienced that before. So you might even seek some assistance here if you're having a difficult time and you really don't know your way forward, you're feeling really lost. But I want to say, and I hope I'm on the other side of this now, but if you notice in the reflection here, you're seeing the, what is that? The cat, obviously, and then the panther in the reflection. So in this space, we can really come to some beautiful insights. We can really see our strength in this. So definitely don't discount it, try to dismiss it, resist it, push it away. Because if we look at it, we're discovering what it is that's missing. We're starting to realign with our own spirit, our own purpose, and connecting with that. And in doing that, we're going to lead a life that feels more grounded, that feels more fulfilling, and ultimately, hopefully, that's happier. So there is a pathway out of this. We just have to be, I guess, courageous enough to look into that reflection, to face the darkness and the things that we're not getting that we thought we wanted to get from a situation, and start figuring out ways to bring in that intuition and connection to our own spirit with our lives, our reality. And they say it's darkest before the dawn, and it's not going to be this dark forever. And the stars and the moon will illuminate where we go from here. And those stars and that moon is your inner intuition. It will help us navigate through this. That intuition will help us realize that connection with self, that connection to that inner child, that connection to whatever it is that we feel is missing or lost. It is an opportunity to help us reconnect with that and integrate that into our lives again. And I'm only sharing this from experience because I have experienced it, and I am, I think, on the other side of it now, and I am feeling more hopeful. I am feeling more connected with my way forward. I have no idea what it looks like yet, so maybe possibly still in this, but I have a better understanding of myself, of what I need, of what I would like to explore and integrate. So that is the beauty of this darkness, is that we see things we wouldn't have otherwise. And we have the Lovers in reverse. So this could be triggered or have been triggered by a relationship in your life. I'm trying to get these centered and moved so we can get clarifiers. This might be or might have been triggered by a failure of a relationship, whether that is a love relationship, a friendship, some kind of partnership, or this is about coming into self-love and finding that harmony with ourselves. We might be at odds or at battle with ourselves, which puts us into this moon or darkness of this confusion and chaos. There's a battle happening within us, and it's not harmonious, it's not happy, it's not fun, it's misaligned. So we have to discover what it is that's going to bring back that harmony. How can we forgive ourselves? How can we release shame? How can we foster a little more self-love, confidence, self-esteem within ourselves? Because that might be the missing piece. I don't know. How can we connect with our inner self, that old self that was lost and you're now coming back into? That intuition. How can we foster more intuition to be a little more clear? How can we have better relationships with the people around us, our loved ones, our spouses, our children? So instead of trying to change circumstances, we can only do so much in those situations where we can do what we can to change what we don't like. But when it comes to other people, again, we can only do so much, and it's really up to the other people in our lives to show up and do their own work, to follow their own path, to be authentic and unique, to be communicative and trustworthy. The rest is up to us and how we show up in that relationship. So are we showing up as our best selves, as our most authentic self, as somebody who loves themselves enough that we allow people to love us as well? So I have a lot of questions, and I feel like you have also a lot of questions. There are more questions than answers here. And I don't know that I have the answers for you, but I hope that these questions that I posed will help you kind of work through this, because I feel that's what you're working through right now, is a lot of questions, a lot of confusion, a lot of unknown, maybe even a lot of internal chaos. It's big stuff. So you have 3 major arcanas here. I just want to say 4 major arcanas. Oh my goodness. This is really big. Okay? So understand that this isn't just you being indecisive about what to have for dinner. This is a significant, life-altering moment, phase, season, chapter in your life. So you have the Magician. Oh my goodness. I'm feeling so overwhelmed with excitement right now. You should see my face. Like, my eyes are bugging out of my head. I am so excited because where this is taking you is the Magician. So what happens is you come into this moment of starting to plant new seeds. You have this clarity. You want to go on a new journey. You're ready, willing, able, excited, passionate, enthusiastic, ready to take some risks. And this is the moment where you start putting it into practice, where you start planting seeds, having visions about what it is that you want and where it is that you want to go. And you're starting to bring in all the tools and resources that you've gained up until now. You're tapping into that intuition, and you're really creating something brand new here. You're taking all of this confusion, you're coming into the clarity, and you're starting to put it into action. You're starting to have eureka moments, and I feel like that's what this clarity is about. This clarity of the King of Swords. You're so clear about what it is you want, where it is you want to go, and you have a plan and a strategy in place to help you implement that, to help you bring this intuition into reality. And you're connecting in with your heart. You know in your heart that this is what you want to do. There's a lot of magic here. Magic in the sense of creation, harmony, desire, intuition, knowing where you're going. You might not know how it's going to pan out. You might not have all of the answers, but at least you have enough now that you can start implementing it and start making steps towards that thing. This is step 1 of the path, and you're on a brand new one. So let's leave that guy here, and we're going to pull some clarifiers for these, just to get some underlying energy. Let's clarify the moon. So 2 of Pentacles, yeah. In reverse, you're in between 2 things right now, or before you get into the moon energy, you're really contemplating some things. You're really having a difficult time with the idea that you're in between 2 things and you want to have clarity about moving into one specific direction. Or maybe you have, like I said, when you're on the merry-go-round, you're just doing. You're going from one thing to the next. And while it might be balanced and harmonious, you can keep all the plates in the air, it is not necessarily what you want to be doing. It's not satisfactory. I'm going to put this here so we have a little more room to work with. But you know where we were going with that anyway, so I don't need to keep it all in line here. So, yeah, this is all about you wanting to do things differently. And you kind of want to drop something. You don't have a desire to keep something going anymore. So you want to drop that and put your focus towards something else. Maybe it's something that's more intuitive or aligned with your intuition, that higher self, or maybe an old self that needs to make a return that was once lost. But there's a sense of balance, but also a sense of not needing to balance anything at all, of having a clearer direction forward, of not spreading your energy too thin, of being able to focus on one thing, or even have a better balance with you and your reality. Maybe that's feeling off balance right now. Maybe something that has come in has thrown you off balance. It could be because in this card, the cat is jumping on the teeter-totter. So there's balance, but then all of a sudden the cat jumps on it and there's no balance anymore. Something has been thrown off balance, which might trigger this moon. So there's either too much happening and you have to drop something, and with that dropping of something and rebalancing yourself, it kind of throws you into this questioning phase of who am I? What do I want to do? Or something's actually come in to throw you off balance and put you into this phase of questioning, of confusion. Okay, the Lovers. Yeah, so you have apprenticeship energy here, which is about being open to learning new things, being a beginner at something. And it's okay that you don't have everything together and figured out. I don't think any of us do. So be okay starting this new journey, being new at something. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fall down. You are learning here, so there's an open-mindedness, a curiosity, a sense for new adventure. Let this moment or experience open the doors for that newness, for that beginner's energy, no matter how young or old you are. That might even be bringing the old self in too. So we talked about earlier that lost self that had fun, that was carefree, that was playful, that was curious. Insert whatever word you want for yourself here, but there's something that I feel that is lost that you might bring back in. So how can you bring that inner child back? How can you bring that youthful energy back in to have a little fun, to be open to making mistakes and taking a bit of risk, to come into this self-love, to come into more confidence, to finding a better balance and harmony with relationships with others around you, including yourself. It will require you to leave the comforts of home. And by home, I don't mean a physical home. I mean an internal home, something that you've been comfortable with, a routine, a way of doing things for a number of years. So it requires you to leave the comforts and almost redefine what home is. You're redefining something. So there has to be an openness to do that and to not be afraid of it, because I feel it is ultimately leading you to some really great stuff. And I feel a lot more fulfillment from it because of it. Magician. So I'm going to take the first one that came out. Two of Cups, another Lover's card, but it's in reverse. So again, we're talking about harmony, connection, relationship to self. And that's almost like, I almost feel that's what's happening here, is that you are starting that journey. It's all about journey here. And manifesting what it is you want to feel. How is it that you love? How is it that you want to be loved? And bringing that into reality and how you can do that. Maybe even manifesting more me time, which we talked about, I can't remember where, somewhere. Manifesting more me time so you can do that exploration of self-love. What it is that lights you up. What it is that make you feel whole. The activities, the people, the places, the affirmations even, that make you feel whole and connected. Making time for yourself and not focusing on others at this time. Which is maybe why both the Lovers and the Two of Cups, both relationship cards, are in reverse, because this is all about you right now. This is all about making time for yourself. Making time to explore. Making time to feed your creativity, your self-love. Building that sense of self-worth. So we're going to get an oracle card to end your reading. Right. Watching clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax. So I don't know if watching clouds is something you enjoy doing, or maybe you used to enjoy as a kid. But essentially, it's about doing nothing. Renewing your energy. A very similar energy to the Connect with Gaia. And very similar energy to the High Priestess too. Because when you totally relax, when you give yourself time and space to do nothing, new insights and ideas can emerge in that space. So watching clouds is essentially doing nothing, letting your mind wander, taking naps, and just stopping all activity, stopping the merry-go-round for a minute. And just take time to evaluate. And again, there's reading the books, watching the world go by. And when you do this, you can actually feel being connected to the earth, being connected. You kind of start to hear little whispers of your spirit come through. And this doesn't have to be days or weeks or months that you just sit around and watch clouds or do nothing or read. It is just finding those little moments. And that was part of the message in pile 1 as well. But this has a very different energy. This is about intuition and getting your spirit back to some degree. Connecting in with that spirituality. Connecting in with that old self that you once lost. and finding a clarity again on a new way forward, new way of doing things, a new way of seeing the world even. But it's first doing that assessment. So pile 2, this was your reading. I hope it resonated with you in some way. If it did, you're welcome to comment below and let me know. Or like this video and subscribe if you haven't already to help this channel and community grow. I really appreciate you, and we will see you in your next reading. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Unfolding Path Tarot with the Atlantasite stone. And for your oracle cards, I've got the Wisdom of the Oracle and the Sacred Traveler Oracle. I'm going to get some opening energy from this one, some closing energy for this one, and then this will be for your read. So let's put this one aside for the moment. And we'll just put that one there for a minute and get your opening energy from the Oracle. What is your mystery message? Time to go. So this is all about timing, knowing when to stay, when to go. It'll be interesting to see what the tarot has to share about that. So we're going to get one tarot card for your energy in all of this. And then we'll pull 3 cards for your read. And then get clarifiers as well. I feel like that one was trying to come out. So you got the Knight of Wands. Wow. Lots of passionate movement here. So are you on your way somewhere? I feel like you're out of here. And you're doing it with fiery passion, with determination and enthusiasm. Maybe even some creativity. You're doing it with great spirit too. Lots of movement though. You're chasing a dream, I feel. And so this almost feels like it's time to go chase that dream. It's time to go chase that thing that you've been thinking about, but maybe have doubts about doing. You have the desire, you have the creativity, you have the spirit, you have the determination, you have the enthusiasm. So what are you waiting for? It's kind of the sense that I'm getting here. Let's see what your tarot card has to say about this message. Okay, so things are getting quite wild up in here. We've got cards flying everywhere. And I see there's a second one, so I will also be looking at the bottom of the deck. I feel like there's 2 that needs to be looked at here, so we'll look at 2 because there was a couple that flew out there. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is all about business and knowing how to really bring your ideas to life. And again, another knight, so action. There's a lack of confidence here though, because it's in the reversal position. So there's almost this idea that you're not quite sure how to take action, but you have the determination and creativity to do it. Maybe you feel you don't have the resources, the training, the network, the customers, the skill set. There's a lot of doubt here, but there is a lot of determination to be able to do something that maybe you have a little bit of skill in, but you're not sure if you can compete with others. And then we also have the Page of Wands under that. And then just for fun, the 5 of Wands in reverse. So again, there's this sense of competition, but there is you might need to open yourself up to learning something new in this process, because there might be a missing piece here that you need to learn. But I feel like you're waiting for that perfect time to do it, to do whatever this is, to chase this dream, to open this business. There's an uncertainty here, a doubt here. So this might be all about working through that, discovering what it is that you need in order to take that next step and to start chasing it. And we can't wait for those perfect moments. We can't wait for us to be fully experienced or have all the skill sets we need, because I feel a lot of that is gained along the way as you see where you need to improve. And that can only be done through experience. So let's look. We've got the 8 of Swords. So there's a sense of feeling trapped here, maybe by your circumstances, maybe by yourself. There's a sense of, so when we zoom in on this one, it looks like she is imprisoned, right? But in reality, these aren't connected to anything. So she can easily stand up and pull one out of the ground. And that could be some suggestion here, is that your perspective or your vision might be too narrow. You're not seeing the bigger picture here. You're not seeing that you can stand up, metaphorically speaking, and start pulling those swords out of the ground, removing those limiting beliefs, breaking through the things that are holding you back. And that's the feeling that I get with the Knight. So it is there. You do have that sense of wanting that. It's all a matter of doing, rather than sitting and waiting for that perfect moment, maybe for somebody to come along and start pulling the swords or showing you how to pull the swords out. This is about learning to do that for yourself through action, through experience, being open to learning and making mistakes, of discovering things for yourself. This is really a transformative moment here. And I feel it's time. So 10 of Cups in reverse. So this is about emotional fulfillment and you not feeling fulfilled at this time. And it could have a lot to do with this 8 of Swords. You're feeling stuck in wherever you are, whether that is a job that feels unfulfilling for you or a relationship. There's something missing. And so it's not allowing you to really step into that feeling of happily ever after, of our true passions and joys being felt in our heart. Maybe there's also a lack of care here for yourself, but I get a sense generally of disharmony just in this energy here. And this could be all on how you look at things. This could also be a cycle too of thinking, of a way of thinking that is kind of keeping you stuck here. So we might need to look at what beliefs are showing up. What do we think about ourselves? Why do we think we can't get that fulfillment? Why do we think we can't open that business or chase that dream? Is there a lack of self-worth here, or self-esteem, or a lack of resources, a lack of training? What's keeping us stuck here? Because I feel it's time to release that so that you can really start taking action in the right direction, where you want to go, and with great passion. And I feel it's going to be towards this 10 of Cups, this fulfillment, this true manifestation of happiness and joy. But there's some self-doubt that you can't get there. So why is that? And another Knight. Oh my goodness. There is so much determination here. There is so much movement. But there's also a lack of movement at the same time. A stuckness. So it's like you're stuck, but you want to move. Great place to be. But there's some hang-ups happening here. Some struggles, some challenges, some hurdles that you have to come over or jump over. But this Knight of Cups is even more determined than the Knight of Wands. So I feel like whatever this is going to fuel your fire even more. You are going to be so clear about where you want to go, you're almost going to stop at no cost to get there. You are going to slay the dragon. You're not going to think about the consequences. You're not going to worry about all the details, because the details might be the thing that's getting you hung up. is thinking about the details, which I almost get in this narrowed perspective. So this Knight of Swords is coming in to almost give you a sense of feel the fear and do it anyway, and then deal with the lessons and the mistakes along the way. Because no matter how you go about this, you're going to learn, you're going to make mistakes. So why wait for the perfect time? There is no such thing. So you're just going to be constantly waiting. And I feel like you're going to be waiting here. And that's not a good place to be. So why don't we just take that? This reading is so strong in action. It's asking you to take action in something rather than sitting and thinking about it and even overthinking it. Because there's a dream here that you want to take hold of, that you want to chase, but you're not, or you have doubts about it. Not because you don't want it, because you feel you can't achieve it. So let's remove those blocks and start taking action. And blocking out, almost putting blinders on to all the other stuff that's going on around you. All the self-talk, the negative self-talk that comes in as you go about this. When the self-talk comes in, you're not good enough, you don't have enough, you don't have the skills, you don't have this, you're not that. Who cares? This is all about taking action, and it doesn't have to be fast, and it doesn't have to be wild and risky or hasty. It's just about that next step. Where is it that I want to go? And let's backtrack our steps. Let's break down all of the steps that we need to get there. And it's time. It's time to go do it. That oracle card is telling you. This whole reading is telling you to go get it. Go after it. Let's get some clarifiers now. I'm going to leave this card here. And yeah, let's get some clarifiers on these and see what comes out. 8 of Swords. Queen of Wands. So there's an underlying sense of, I feel like you've got a good sense of self, a good sense of your confidence. There's confidence, there's leadership here. There is belief in knowing that you can do this. There's a sense of achievement and success here. But there's something in your life that is holding you back. Is it a person? Is it a circumstance? How can we do our best with what we've got? How can we feel the fear and do it anyway? I feel like you're destined for success here. You just need to take action. Maybe have a plan in place for when those times where the inner demons come out, telling us we can't, or instilling doubt. Even limiting our time with people who do that as well in our circle. But whatever this is, I feel like it can be overcome, and it's only temporary. And it's all about perspective. So how are you seeing something that's making you feel limited? Or who around you is making you feel limited, restricted? Because I feel it's in you, this leadership, this success, this passion and desire, this spirit to chase after this dream is there. It is strong. So 10 of Cups. Let's get a clarifier on the 10 of Cups. Six of Cups. Interesting. So I feel there's some kind of nostalgia happening here. You might be not moving because something in your past has made you believe something. You are maybe even letting the past experiences that might be similar to this inform the future experiences. But when we look at it in reality, even if this was last month, where we tried something and we failed, and especially if it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, we change so much. in a week, in a month, in a year, 5, 10, 20 years. That there's no possible way that we're going to repeat the same mistakes, especially if we're aware, especially if we've done work to discover what it is we don't want to do again to repeat that mistake. I've tried opening my own business multiple times, and I've closed business multiple times in my past. There was an underlying belief that I couldn't make it work, or I was almost scared of success. So I walked away from it. And I was letting what other people told me I was good enough for, and even my experiences and failures in business previously, to almost determine my outcome in the now, or when I started my business 5 years ago. But I had changed so much. I had grown so much, and I'm going to guess that you have too. So don't let the past make you feel like you'll never gain the success. If you haven't gained it now, you never will. That is untrue. So are there some untruths that you're telling yourself from past experiences that are making you feel like you can't achieve, that you can't feel fulfilled, that you can't have your dreams come to life? Because you weren't the same person as you were before. And the circumstances aren't the same as they were before. You're in a different place. Circumstances are much different, even though they might feel similar. You might be still chasing this dream that you started out chasing 10 years ago. But the circumstances are different. You're different. And I'm sure the people you come across along this journey will be different as well. The signposts will be different. So don't let past failures, past mistakes, whatever somebody said to you in the past, don't let that be your outcome now. Well, let's explore and get a little curious here. Okay, the Knight of Swords. What does he have to say? In the Knight of Swords, I get the feeling like there's a lot of air. It's all about air, the swords. And it's kind of like just go where the wind takes you, is the message that I'm getting. We have another queen, but it's in reverse. And interesting, it's a pentacle. So abundance. And seeing the fruits of your labor, enjoying the fruits of your labor, being able to nurture yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, materially, and having everything that you need, all of the resources. And because it's in reverse, there's a sense that you can't, because you don't have that abundance. You might not have the same opportunities as other people or ideal circumstances. You may not have gone to a really expensive college or something, or you feel like whatever you have in your life is not enough, so therefore I can't be successful. Well, let's challenge that belief. Let's see what happens. Let's take what we've got, because there is a glimmer here of you've got something unique that nobody else has. You have an advantage that you're not seeing. You have a unique perspective that you are not seeing in yourself. And you're not expressing that authentically because you feel maybe because it's not like everybody else that you're not going to succeed. But that's what makes it great. That's what makes you great, is those unique abilities that may not be taught, that may not be something you can gain through experience. It's just innate in you. The way you see things, the way you approach things, the way you go after things, the way you problem solve. That's not necessarily something everybody can gain through experience or skill. I feel like there's a unique skill set here that is yours and only yours, and that is going to make you stand out from the crowd. So it's time to start implementing that, to put this into action, to try and see where the wind takes you. Use that motivation, that determination, that ambition to propel you forward and move beyond all of the doubts and the fears. Move beyond whatever happened in the past. The future has yet to be written. So let's pull an oracle card to end your reading. Okay, so you have Ascending the Mountain, another movement card. Follow that path, follow that trail, one step at a time. Don't look at these huge peaks that you have to overcome. Look at the step right in front of you and just keep moving forward. It doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be like everybody else. Let it be your own unique path, your own unique journey, and at your own time. Just take those steps and see where it takes you. It's time, my friends, it's time. So pile 3, this was your reading. I do hope it resonated. If it did, you're welcome to comment below and let me know. Or like this video and subscribe if you haven't already to help this channel and community grow. I really appreciate you, and we'll see you in your next reading.